everybody, welcome back to Materia D&D, session 128, part 2. Uh, Briefly put, the menagerie have all gathered underneath Burnt Water Hot Spa and have begun dialogue with two members of the Candlelighters, an organization that seeks to liberate the populace from oppression and tyrant and inequality. Uh, the purple single horn tiefling named Eno, and Mull, the old large minotaur that has confirmed in his story to be an exiled Solomon from the House Solomon of the Tefra Shelf. The menagerie has introduced more goings on in the area of Carver and the Snoring Mountain than these two individuals were aware of. Most impactfully, the fact that Roque possessed a scale-sworn blade and that Al had conjured up a minor illusion of a scale bearer or sorcerer that Mole swore he saw when he was a child almost 70 years ago, but no one ever believed him, and it kind of spurred his rebellious side over all these years that eventually led to his exile, as he does not like the House Laron and its leader Maxim. So picking up, it's late in the evening. Morning, it's probably closer to morning than it is saying that it's nighttime. The menagerie, in discussions with the two members of the Candlelighters, discussing perhaps what to do next. We pick up our story with the last thing that Eno said is, as it was revealed that there was cultists and that the menagerie had dispatched a number of them, that perhaps the storm is some sort of act of vengeance. But there's a degree of uncertainty in his voice. Just a thought.
Do you guys have a way of getting into the shelf? Because that's really all we wanted to do was check out what was going on there. I mean, frankly, I would love to just go back to bed. I'm tired, but
We'd all like to rest, frankly. My old bones hurt. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed that you two stopped me.
I'll
I
point
haven't.
to Carlos and be like, he did it.
It's been a long time since I haven't just trampled somebody, so
I bet. Look at you.
impressive.
You're a friggin' wagon.
I was gonna say it was pretty close.
I'm more than a wagon. I'm like an entire caravan. He just kind of slaps his belly. He's not very fat, but yeah, just kind
Yeah, yeah,
of.
yeah. He a thick boy.
Yeah. Well, uh, I I recognize I got off on the wrong hoof with you. I don't think I caught your name. Uh,
Oh yeah, we should all
Dwarf.
just introduce everybody. We haven't done that. I'm Davis.
Well,
Message.
Aros.
Rod. Ragnar.
Mole will say, Ragnar, I'm sorry to go off on the wrong hoof with you. It's You can hold it personal. I understand. I am Mole Solomon, exiled child of the Tefra Shelf House Solomon. I'm Inno, Goisia, pleasure.
You from here too?
Nah,
Where you from?
not even from Maroon.
Oh.
Where
Travel.
are you from? Well, it's late. Maybe we should wait.
Oh, no problem. I'm all the way from Astrovera. Way north here.
North?
Way north. Yeah. Rune is like a southern continent. That's why the seasons are flipped and everything. Because just for the sake of ease of tracking and familiarity for all players, it is on an axis. There are seasons, and you guys are in the southern hemisphere, so that's why
I
it.
am understanding.
Yeah, gotcha. So yeah,
But
we're both.
do
Go
you
ahead.
have a way of getting into the shelf? If we want to
No,
go take a look at this thing.
I mean sneak in, knock out some guards, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
The problem
that
is,
was our plan
we'll
too, and I'll point to Dregnar. We were kind of doing a couple things at once.
listen. We didn't necessarily need to get into the shelf right now. We were. We didn't even know the shelf was involved with the storm, and we still don't. We just saw the repeated strikes, and that got our attention, and we got curious, and some of Ultra Brew's men and us went to check it out.
And
So,
likely, and funny that our goals somewhat align, just like that.
If I may, I would
good
like to insight
individuals.
check what he just said.
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. Bad 9.
Yeah, he's
Sure. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen. Again, we cannot. We are sorry for the actions we took, but you have to understand. We saw signs of a crazy cultist. So, um, and I'm pretty sure the fact that Mul saw one of those blades on somebody didn't stir up the best feelings in him. I would like to also state that I think you are very fortunate, Rock, that you were not taken into custody if you had that blade on you. Because from what Mole tells me, if that is a family blade and they suspect you of dispatching one of their kin, I'm pretty sure they would have done far worse to you. Even if it is under the guy, even if it was done in secret, they would. Well, how do I say it? They would not. The populace would not hear you scream. So I agree. You are welcome to rest. Um, if you would accept this uh, olive branch or so, um, forgive me. Give me one moment, and you'll see. Enno will stand up. He'll pull out those 4 stress balls. I'm not going to make y'all do perception checks, but you see that they're 4 different large spheres that 2 of them can fit in his hand again, and he can rotate them. And they are 4 different ones. One gives off the a stone marble sphere that is just of granite and marble and is well polished and very nice. Another one gives off the sense of like a crystalline, almost like a permanent ball of ice, like a sphere of cold ice. It just looks like a very clear cylinder or sphere of ice. It's kind of off to looking at it. And in the center, when you see him kind of moving it in his hand, there does seem to be some liquid slushing around. Another one is a red glass like globe, and in it you see this constant spinning flame. And the final one is it's odd looking. It looks kind of like a plushy ball of cotton, but it keeps its perfect like sphere shape. But it just looks like if you were to poke it, it'd be super soft. It's like olive branch. And as you guys have been kind of discussing, you've kind of moved through the bottom of the cellar, and he'll walk into what is essentially the back room, and he will place each sphere on the ground, and on the floor, and in a like a square, kind of representing like a square, and then he'll draw with his toes the lines connecting the spheres, and then they'll see like this like quick little like shimmer like a mirage, but you don't see anything, and then he kind of reaches for there and then pulls open an invisible door. Would you like to come in and rest?
We
Yes.
have a place already, and we have
I heard it,
friends.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just very tired. Please go on.
It's
You're right.
Where does that go?
it's a it's my own little pocket dimension. It's safe. I assure you, no one can enter without, well, knowledge of the entrance. And it has plenty of space and accommodations. I can mold it to any reasonable request.
That's pretty cool.
It's a
But
magnificent mansion.
no, yeah, I know. The player,
Yeah,
as a player, I know.
Ooh.
But
yeah.
I look at Rock and Al for like is this okay?
I
Is
mean,
this like an arcane dwelling? What
Willem
is
and them probably would not like to see us just missing. We should probably go back to the Gritmires.
Also, still a dragon cloud, guys. Do anything.
Uh,
I-
if I may interject, I believe we are all
You believe we're what?
believe we are all one still missing information and two tired and
I'm
needing to recuperate. Uh,
absolutely drained, yes.
and frankly,
I mean, you saw what this guy can do, and I'm saying from Rock pointing to the portal that's saying, I was like, if he's not super concerned, and I mean, I wasn't that concerned to begin with because it's just a cloud, but
I will state I am more concerned now than I was now that you've brought up the fact that you have slain many cult members.
we don't know if I mean we don't know what they were doing. I don't. I.
Yes,
But yeah, it was weird, freaky and weird. But also,
and
it's not in
frankly,
town. Like they weren't doing stuff in town. That was weird. Like, it's so I don't know if this is even related.
but here's the thing: even if we have the best intentions to do something, what are we to do?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
not.
Exactly.
Ponderance is perhaps our best friend, and
I mean, Sleep's my
you
best
know
friend right now. I want to go say hi to my best friend.
that is fine. Uh,
We must discuss more soon. I want to. Is there? I asked this earlier, but it was kind of.
Let me check this out. I'm literally interrupting and just going inside the door
Yeah.
briefly.
okay. So as you
You know
kind of
what?
poke
He's
your
right.
head, as you
And
kind
I
of
go
poke your
on.
head
The
over
curiosity was
through.
just brewing and I couldn't wait.
Yeah. So Davis, you see four elements that make up this space, this dimension, and they are very obvious: earth, wind, water, and fire. Uh, you see, you're in a simple structure, but there is a degree of elegance and effort and creativity put in here. The entryway is stone and of earth, and there is a central, as you look up, there is a orb floating above your head that is of a rolling ball of fire that just seems to give off warmth and illumination here. Uh, Throughout the walls, there are running streams of water, very very light, like when you see like those little stress stones, where it's just kind of very slowly trickling down, constant flow of water. And above, beyond the sphere, there are white, fluffy little plushy clouds. And Eno will look at you, kind of looking around, and he'll just kind of whistle, and two of the, because I think you said Davis and said you came down here. He'll whistle, and two of these nimbuses will kind of float on down, and he'll just look at you.
Whoa.
Go ahead, jump on. They're comfortable.
On what?
I promise you. The cloud. Here. He'll whistle another one, and it kind of floats down, and he'll just kind of jump on it. It just kind of leans back.
Never seen something like this in my
And just starts
life.
One
floating
second.
up.
1 second. And then I'm gonna stick my head back out. Because if I look back, is it just like I
Yeah,
can
you
see
can.
it into
Yeah.
the room? I'm like,
We'll
guys,
say
this is
yes.
insane. Bye. And then tuck back in.
Yeah, so you, Davis, as you go back in and you see the cloud, you jump on the Nimbus. It's the most squishy, comfortable. Like if you know, because Anita recently got one. If you know what a squashmallow is, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Squishmallows, yeah.
yeah, it's a giant squishmallow.
It's a cotton candy
Like,
cloud.
wow, like,
Finally.
Rock could, like, make a tower like this pretty quickly, but, like, it was just an actual thing. Like, they
Oh,
just built a big tower real fast.
this has taken me years to figure out.
You're
I can
good.
I can I can pretty much craft anything that you need out of these elements. If you need, I don't know, you need a table, and you'll see him kind of raise his hand, and the dirt forms into a table. Chairs form, some clouds fall down, making little cushions of the on the chairs, and then like silverware, and then you see like some of the water splash off in great plates and silverware. So
I mean,
in
I'm not saying we're staying here, but, like, make me the dopest bed that you can think of.
okay, as
Waterbed. If you
that
can do a waterbed, you're my new best friend.
want a waterbed? All right, and you'll see him kind of steps in, moves, gets his hands together, and he starts to like pull some water from the constant trickle down the walls, and it starts gathering more and more water and starts slushing it around. Shape? You care about the shape?
No. Whatever.
Okay, very well. Standard bed it is, and then he'll get it like starting forming this water bed in the shape of like a standard bed, and he'll start pulling the clouds and start kind of layering it, kind of encasing the water. And then he'll kind of float it, like, um, and he'll just kind of place it on the ground for you.
Immediately run and jump on it.
Yeah. It's a
This
waterbed.
is crazy. I've never actually seen one of these. I've just heard of them. I guess this is
Yeah,
what
they
it's
don't.
supposed to be.
Yeah, they don't seem very popular here. I think it's usually the difficulty in getting a large enough bladder, either stitched together or harvested from a large enough creature to make such a
Huh.
vessel for water. And then, but hey, there you go, a bed made of water, surrounded by clouds.
And then I'm just like,
This is
wow,
amazing.
Yeah, this is like I said, years of practice. And well, welcome. So the door room, you are welcome, but I do understand if you need to get to your
shit. I did say that.
caretakers. Is it?
Well,
I don't.
no, they're just they put us up, and we already kind of told them we were. Actually, I don't remember if we told them we were leaving, but we did ask them about the storm. So if we go disappear and they, we just don't want to raise suspicion. So fuck.
I mean, if any of us left anything there, hopefully it's a sign that, hey, we're just out, we'll be back.
Eh. That raises questions. I don't think we want to do that.
Well,
Are we staying here or what?
I think that's the question.
I think we should go
If we're
back.
worried about the dwarf brothers, I can go back and tell them real quick and come back.
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
on. I can, I can, I can just tell them.
Oh yeah. Do that.
Oh yeah, you can do your magic message thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I'm still looking at Alan Rock. Like, is this all right? Safe to go into?
Al gives a thumbs up.
Is our Minotaur friend me or
Is he what?
I heard, is our Minotaur friend, and then I heard a weird beep boop or something.
yeah? Is he still around?
Yeah, he's kind of walked, like he's kind of heading to the doorway, kind of
Uh,
ducking in, if you can.
I'm gonna
Get in.
get up, sort of, and hold my hand out to him. Like, you throw a good punch. I guess maybe no hard feelings.
Of course, you take the punch as well. Reaches out. Well, sorry.
As soon as he grabs my hand,
Oh shit.
Lightning bolt.
you know,
Vortex bolt.
Burning hands.
I've got something in my hand, and I whisper a quick arcane word, and
Sure.
I cast Phantasmal Force.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Which is a 17 intelligence 17.
Oh no.
17 intelligence.
Yep.
14, even without any intelligence bonuses, he has a charisma bonus, so he succeeds.
Shite.
Woo.
Say, ooh, tingles.
Dang it! You guys just whatever.
Are you guys good?
I wanted a minor revenge.
I'm sorry.
Trust me, I understand.
No, it's all good. I was yelling. Rock was yelling at the Davis.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna sending. Sorry. Please go
Oh,
ahead.
you're good. Go for it. I was just gonna say it's he's got the aura of protection, so his charisma.
He is a Palatar.
He's definitely part Palatar.
Mad saves.
Should have
Yeah, he's
done
got a
it.
good save. But go ahead.
I'm gonna send one of the dwarves, and I'm not even gonna do all the
Mhm.
letters. I'm just gonna. I mean, all the verbiage. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
there's
like,
4 letters that are important.
we're staying at somewhere else for just the night. We'll be back sometime tomorrow. Uh, Menagerie XOXO. Wait, am I missing something?
That's for
That's
it.
part of the message.
Yeah, it's just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Okay.
Brilliant.
I can understand that. I told them, guys.
Sweet! And I'm running
Hey,
back in.
just one thing. I'm gonna like get myself on a cloud and stuff, and like talk to her
Mhm.
with my hand on my head. So, um, do you have any contacts in Whitlaw?
Directly? No,
I've
but
fallen asleep.
aren't. Gotcha. Say, oh, he was tired. Very well. Um, make yourselves at home. I can. The Nimbus is what we typically sleep on. Mole likes to sleep over there, and it's just a little sand pit. Uh, but please rest well. Know that this place is protected, and if you need to eat something, let me know. I am able to produce sustenance in here. Other than that, please rest, and it is nice to meet the Crass Menagerie. No one's saying they're doing anything. You're able to go to sleep, take a long rest.
Hallelujah.
I would like to do one thing.
Ah, shit.
Sure. That's fine.
I would like to switch my
No.
just the new mantle that I have. I would like to
Yeah. You want to unattune to it?
unattune to the mantle thermal.
Yeah, that's fine. You're able to. So you can pretty easily over the course of the evening as you're getting comfortable. You take off the mantle of spell resistance, put it wherever you wish to store it on your shell, and then reaffix your thermal rider's cloak.
And then I'll just offer the cloak to anyone who wants it, telling him what it is. Just like, hey, it might attract attention, but this thing's got uses. If anybody wants a pretty cloak, it'll help you verse magic, spooky magic, as Marv would say. Anyone?
Nah, sorry, I've got too many layers and too many things on my back. I don't think I have space for it right now.
It'll give you scoliosis if you add another layer.
Yeah. Keep it
So
away.
mechanically speaking, just to help you guys, it's a mantle of spell resistance, so you have advantage on spell saving throws. Yeah, like 8 against you.
Anyone? I'll just pack it away.
Okay. Shocking. Very well. Cool. So, keeping it pretty simple, you were able to find rest. Y'all definitely do sleep in fairly hard.
Yes.
I guess we might as well do recharges and see what needs to be done. So, Hans gets his find traps back.
Alright.
Do you have anything else? You don't need to switch out, no. Davis still has the crest as far as I know.
Crest, Redeemer, and Boots.
Okay, yeah, Al, you think
And my
your
totem I
trinket
gotta
would be
roll.
back to full charges, your wand of noise is normal, okay, cool. So going to Davis,
Sweet.
that's
I'm
your
a
totem?
Yeah.
You're a
I'm
bear,
which means
alright.
I get more hit points.
Oh, bears.
Alright, go ahead and roll your hit points.
Boom!
Damn.
I'm tanky.
There you go, 15 min and max hit points. Dregnar, the Vanta Black doesn't require anything. Dreamer Stone, nothing. Sash, I assume you're wearing it as a belt for the benefits to your save DCs. So you're pretty set, right, Dregnar?
Correct.
Alright. Carros. I'm making a slight change to the locuses. I'm gonna, for the sake of it, I'm gonna say that they can be affixed to any magic item. If that magic item does not require attunement and you affix it, it does now require attunement, and you can affix as many loci to it up until they become basically very rare. So if you have an uncommon item that is materia uncommon, like honestly, Sentinel Shield should not be uncommon. It would bump it up to then rare and very rare. So if you did want to retroactively move the loci away from your baleful flail, you can, but it's up to you.
I think it's fine on there for now, just
Yeah.
because anything else is. Let's see, what is So if I
Again,
threw on my armor, then that would make I'd
your
have to
armor
get rid of
required.
something.
Exactly.
And the windsweeps are rare right now.
So yeah, you could put that on the windsweeps and they become very rare and then you can't do anything else to them. Okay, so it's a consideration. So, but more importantly, if you'd be so kind, can you roll your d20 to see what your Nirvana die is?
Sure.
Oh,
Just mark it down somewhere. If you ever land on it, it's a natural 20 for you.
even if it's a 1, that's dope as hell. If it's
Yeah, it's the best. So an 8, right? So for the next, until you take a long rest, or until the next dawn, I should say. Yeah, all your d20 rolls of an 8 are considered 20 rolls for the sake of the dice.
Alrighty.
Well, I should say all ability checks, skills, saving throws and attack rolls. All right. Rock. So you have. Are you attuned to the staff of the croak, the scale sworn blade, and the thermal riders? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I don't have lives in the crypt right now.
No engine. Okay, got it. Very well. That doesn't. I don't think you have any recharges then.
I got my importance.
Yep. Go for it.
I'll roll 2 and I get 7 and 11. I gotta roll a third, which gives me 18. So I have an 18 and a 11. I do not have to roll for the engine.
Okay.
It needs a break because I can never roll 10 on it.
Gotcha.
Although just for funsies.
That's the
I
worst
rolled
thing
a 3.
too. Okay, that's fine. All right, and then said,
Yes.
I think your necklace is all squared away with its beads. You
Yes.
have the attest shield, the necklace of prayer beads, and your broken hilt.
Yes.
Cool. So I don't think you have to do any recharges then.
Nope.
You're good. Cool. All right, that was quick. That was easy. So as consciousness comes the next day for you, you find yourselves all in this elemental space. It hasn't changed much. You've all managed to find very, very, very restful, comfortable night's sleep amongst the nimbuses and Davis on your waterbed. Uh, as you rise, uh, Mole and Eno are on the ground floor. Uh, you see that Mole is going through some training paces as columns of stone have been arisen, and he's just going through some training, striking the stone columns. And Eno is, while on the ground, is sitting legs crossed on a nimbus, just kind of floating, uh, studying some notes, some documentation that he has. And as you guys kind of start to, within relatively the same amount of time, start to rise, he kind of elevates himself amongst the nimbuses. Oh, well, good day to all of you. Hope you rested well.
Hey, I'm kind of hungry, and so Davis was asleep as far as I'm concerned when he described earlier
Yeah.
that he could do that. So I'll be like, "Is there any food in here?"
Sure.
Also, your mic is a little far from your face, I think.
Oh, sure. He says, sure. One moment. Do you prefer something? Well, let's put it this way, so I can kind of figure out what to get you. Do you prefer meats, vegetables, something of the earth, something of the water? What do you want for breakfast?
Something grown. I don't know.
I like eggs and grits.
Eggs and grits. Air
Hey,
and
great.
air and earth. Okay, so you'll see, and he'll reach in his nimbus and kind of pluck part of the nimbus out and throw it out, and then you'll see like this little elemental spawn, and then multiples of it. Make up some eggs, uh, just scrambled, and then he
Yeah.
floats down and pulls up some of the earth, and then just kind of like molds it in his hand and kind of drops it, and then numerous little earth elementals spawn.
I'm
They
looking
would
around
like
at
some
everybody.
grits.
Like, so if any of the other Menagerie members are here, I'm looking around like, you're seeing this, right?
I am like
All of you
locked
do, yeah.
in, super studying,
Yeah.
super interested in what he's doing.
Yeah. You'll see that so what'll happen is you'll see that the earth elementals kind of start like getting dirt and start like forming it in their hands and then going up to the fire and like kind of baking it, and you'll see like that it just kind of the earth just starts to stream off their hands and fall into a bowl, and it starts to turn into grit. And the eggs are taking bits of the nimbuses and just kind of forming them into eggs, getting up by the fire, and then they have eggs, and then they're just cracking the eggs, and they're just whipping up the eggs in the air, and it falls into the bowl. Got your eggs and grits.
Oh, it's tuck in. I'm like, I, these, I don't even have to like season these. They're just good. Like, what the hell? Like, normally a little salt, little pepper, and huh? Do I have to leave this thing? Can I just stay here?
Uh, it does cool. It technically folds in on itself after a while. It would expel you without harm. Note that anything created in here cannot be brought out.
Ah,
So I'm sorry, the food stays. Though if you if you consume it, it does nourish you, and
oh,
it is part of you, so you can leave with that.
well, that's a cool
That's fine.
trick.
It's it is a difficult conjuration to master, and I am far from mastering it.
Believe me,
I've
you've mastered it pretty well.
Uh, it's
Nom 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 nom.
appreciate it.
oh,
And
thank
like
you, thank you.
throughout part of this, you hear the heavy thuds of mole just ramming into different stone columns and stuff. Training. Go ahead, Al. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, thank you, thank you. I've heard, stories of greater spells for lodging, but I never thought it'd be something like this. This is something to aspire to. This is very nice.
Yeah, we're normally sleeping like a dome thing. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's comfortable
Keep the
and
bugs
good,
out,
but
keep it warm.
yeah,
But it's not much compared to this.
I
What is
throw a silver coin at Al and Dave's head and walk off in a huff.
are you catapulting at us?
No, I just
Oh,
throw
okay.
silver coins. Just, yeah.
What was it?
to be
Pick it up and
fair?
shrug.
If I'm familiar with what you mentioned, I've I've most of my life I've spent in those little huts. I understand.
Very
Um,
convenient.
yeah, easy.
Yeah,
This is
a little cramped. I mean, with this many people.
well, yes. I believe those tents were not necessarily the original formulas were not constructed in such a way to consider large groups. But yes, as long as you are here, you are welcome to stay.
This is
Um,
awesome.
I will report that the rain stopped. The clouds seemed to have not dissipated but calmed down. However, the distant sounds of rumble and thunder continues, but Mole nor myself were able to spot the visage of the dragon. Uh, Perhaps there are some elements to the incantation, whatever that they are trying to do, that require certain elements that this time of day does not provide. I do not understand it, but I mean, it seems to have calmed down for the time being.
Good to hear, but as you said, there's much more to investigate. There's too many questions with this phenomenon.
Yes. Um, we had also had time to check in with Mr. Ultra Blue, and we have informed them that there may be a cult, and he seemed very eager for us to continue our investigation. Uh, we did for the time being, even though he is a compatriot of yours, leave you out of the discussion.
Probably a good idea.
So perhaps. But yes, may I be so bold and inquire what are you planning on doing with your day?
It's a good question.
Yeah, we never
Well,
seem to know when we wake up what the fuck we're gonna do on any given day.
I will say I will say we're not as panicked as we were last night, so hopefully we'll have more time to plan. Ideally.
we had a lot of stuff on our plate, and this spectral cloud dragon thing was kind of a surprise. This whole situation was kind of pro bono, if you know what I mean. So, not sure what our goals are today. What should be our goals?
Actually, hey, you guys. So what do you know about dragons? I've never, I don't know anything about dragons. But I mean, that's clearly not an actual dragon, right? That's just something that looks like it.
Uh, really, we don't. Mm, Mole and I have never encountered a dragon. Um,
Like, are they even? Are they even like real? I, I hear
I mean,
tales.
there's enough artifacts and uh, clues, relics that indicate that if they're not real now, they were at some point. Uh, I we know that there are dragon influenced individuals in their bloodlines and in their heritage. Though if that is actual dragon and not some sort of something else, that I cannot say. Um, I don't know. I know it's sense. If it's not a real thing, then I know it's at least a motif.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I cannot give you much information. I don't have it. Uh,
I'll.
Mo will also kind of say that, though I'm pretty sure they're still real. Just because we haven't seen one doesn't mean that it's not real.
Yeah, I had never seen a hag, and now I've seen 7 of them. I think 7.
It's a lot of
Maybe
hags.
I mean,
if
they're
you count
gone
that one
now.
situation, could be 9.
No,
Wait,
those other
really?
2 were gone before we got here. What's her name? Ren Oosh lady. Took care
Did
of
they
them, I
come
think,
back
or something.
though? Or was that another? That was the other one. Okay, never mind.
Wrong
Yeah.
company.
That's the tricky thing with spiritual beings. They always come back.
Well, sorry to go on with the storm, if I may. I don't know. It might just be coincidence that they manifest whatever they're doing in such a form, or it is where this cult draws its influence from. There are, without more information, we could never know. Mole seems to be convinced that the Lorons have made some sort of pact at some point in their family's history with, well, what you showed him.
Okay, pretend you didn't know us and we're not here, and you found out about this without us. What would you do?
Found out about the storm? Sorry,
The cult.
the cult. Um,
We're terrible at this, is what I'm getting at. Like, we come up
no,
with
I
plans and they
understand.
all are terrible. We somehow
We would,
come out okay, but
well, we
probably
would
not
need to,
always using the best methods.
we would need to be able to observe and monitor what they are doing. Uh, It's difficult to say. I would imagine that. Oh, okay, steps one. Okay, step one would be try to find if we can find a regular location that they are interacting. Try to spot any type of markings or um, commonplace that we suspect the cult members may frequent or utilize. Uh, After confirming our suspicions, it would either be trying to infiltrate if we see that their number is vast enough where we could perhaps slip in unnoticed, or if it seems to be a much smaller sect, perhaps take a slightly more drastic measure and attempt to uh, contain a cult member for questioning.
Good now.
Beyond that, it would be, well, we would play from there.
Sorry, we weren't the cultists that you were looking for.
We were never initially looking for cultists. We were looking to prove that the Tefra shelf and its trustees were, well, corrupt and taking advantage of its people.
Well,
But as mentioned, our common friend and Mole here have history with the shelf.
Hey, we're friends now, but if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to talk with my group in private. Is that okay? We can go or you can go. I don't know, whichever one.
Very well. Give me a minute. And he just starts. You can see he has put his hands. And do you want to be up or down?
Oh,
up,
Up.
sure, up.
up.
Yeah.
Very well.
Sunwood. Sunbound.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you get on the Nemesis and he starts rising the Nemesis up, and then you'll see he'll pull the water and the stone, and it'll create like a division throughout this entire space where it is stone and water that freezes over into ice. And yep, 2 floors.
First I'll look at Rock and be like, hey, let's not forget to do the telepathic thing at some point if we can. But like, we should maybe tell these guys more. But I wanted to check with you guys first. Like, should we just tell them we fucking killed a dragon? Because that might speed this shit up.
I was playing with that idea myself, but if you think so, I tend to agree with you. I didn't know if I should be so forthright and just, I don't know, feels like gloating or something. Like, oh, we walk into town, hey, we killed a dragon, you
I
know?
mean, so
Wow.
this guy with the Laron blade was working for the dragon, and now where the fucking creepy Laron guy lives, there's this dragon cloud over it. It might be connected. Just saying.
It sounds way too probable to be not just connected. It has to be something is up.
I mean, I'm sometimes bad at this. Do we trust these guys? Like, I mean, I trust them to have, not mistreat us and stuff, but like, can we trust them with that bit of
I
information?
have the feeling that we can. They don't. I have. I have. It's not like I really particularly looked into it, but I have a good feeling about these guys.
I don't like them. They want a stupid fancy house.
I mean, it's really good. Like, that food was amazing. He said he took years and years and years of study. Like, I don't understand how you have learned so much in the time that we've known you. Like, what you have done is maybe more amazing just because from what you started with and where you're at now. I have no question that very soon you'll be doing this and even better. Just give it time. You're young.
I just stare at you.
I'm a nudge, rock, and whisper. I can tell with tieflings, this guy's real old. He doesn't look the part. We age pretty well, but he's super old. He's had a long time to practice. You're gonna pass him up.
A long
Trust
time
me.
to see things that we might be interested in talking about too.
Yeah, and the Astravera, I, I think I've heard of it, but I've certainly never been there. I don't really know anything about it. Like, he's traveled. He's had time to build up his skills. So
You can tell he's old because the elemental magic, elementalist. He just got his 4 things. He's like, I can make anything. It takes a long time, I bet, to figure that shit out. Pepper? Oh, it's this much dirt and this much, like, yeah, time for that.
yeah,
What the hell?
Dragnar Karos.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to trust him with the dragon thing. I've been inching towards it. They could have killed us last night. They didn't.
Nah.
They could have tried.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
going off of what I know about their organization and the fact that, well, their behavior in general, they don't seem the type that are gonna go and roll up and plunder, and we don't even have to talk about the horde, right?
Right. I mean, I think that's like just a dragon thing, though. So it's if you know about dragons, that's just implied, right?
Yeah.
But we
So
don't have
I
to
mean,
necessarily tell them about the tree, although we might want to even tell them about that, because that's still the thing. We don't even really know what's going on. Like, we know it does crazy magic shit, and this guy can do super crazy magic shit. So, even,
I mean,
you know?
I'm still happy about that part. I think at least the
Yeah,
dragon will
yeah.
move
I
us along
think I
faster.
think the dragon would probably, I mean, at least then we can connect what we think was the cause. And if the dragon is connected to that family, then there's some seriously fucked up shit going on, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can bring a dragon back to life.
But, I mean, didn't that, Eben Quill guys say that the trustees were trying to kill him or something? Or is he just in exile as well? I don't remember, but it was like, surely I'm gonna die or something. The trustees don't like me.
Yeah, that was in there. How we got started on all this, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oop, run away, kitty.
Wow, there's even cats in here. This place is
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Magic comes with cats.
Yeah, some of the nimbuses just started kind of and
They're
little
cloud
bug ball
cats.
cats. Yeah, cloud
Ah!
cats, cloud kitties.
I want to pet the fire cats.
This is the
Yeah,
widow
to
gas
get you
section of
one
the
of
tower.
these.
you see, like, so, like, the wall that was made, right, the ceiling, the divider is made of stone, but in the center of it there's that large orb of fire that's continually flickering and spinning, and that's where the water has come and crystallizes like an ice structure so that the light can go through, but it is a solid wall, so no sound or that is being shared. And since you have all the nimbuses, the different cats are just kind of coming down from the clouds. Meow,
Literally
meow.
raining cats.
Yep.
To
Dragnar?
get some downtime, we are gonna try and decompile and figure out how this spell works. We can figure this shit out. I know we can. It's gonna be
We
even
can
better.
come back down now.
Well, hold on. Dragnar was saying something, but I don't hear anything.
I don't
Oh, there
do
you
the thinking. You guys want to tell them, tell them.
You okay?
Oh, yeah. I still want to punch that cow in the face.
I did. It was fun. He might let you. You can ask.
You believe you got away with that?
Okay. Yep. We're ready to
I'm
go
also
back.
wondering if he has udders.
Hell of a threat if I ever heard one.
If it's anything like, I mean, I'm not too familiar with minotaurs, but I mean, not all cows have, are all ladies. No, cows are cows, and then there's bulls and
That guy's definitely a bull.
Lady cows? I don't know what the word for a lady cow is.
It's a cow, I think.
Is it cow?
Isn't it a heifer?
No, I think that's the other.
Oh,
Maybe it
oh,
is.
it's
Hey,
something.
There is a certain life, a certain part of a cow's life. Generically, it's just a cow.
Yeah. A heifer. Yeah, it's a young cow that is not classified as a calf anymore. That's a heifer. That's what it is. Is that Alistair in the
It
Jesus?
is, yeah. I think that's actually definitely not outside.
Yeah,
Is that from
definitely
League
not
or
Alistair.
something? What is that?
It's from League, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'll like knock on the floor, and be like, "We're good."
You'll see that like the the crystalline structure that's made of the ice will start to melt back in the water and just retreat. It's like, okay, jump on your clouds, and
Yeah.
then you'll see the stone begin to.
I'll stare at it and I'll be like, "Be honest. Could you hear us?"
No,
Insight
have,
check.
Yep.
go
as,
for
I'm,
it.
as we come down on the clouds.
I know.
Said,
It's
wanna,
Carver
terrible. It's
says,
terrible again. I can't read this guy. 8.
Yeah,
wanna type that, insight check that too.
go for it.
16?
No,
Is,
they didn't hear you.
Okay.
is it Druthan?
Okay. So we have a little bit of more information. I was kind of lying when I said we don't really know much about dragons. We do know about dragons because we took care of one. That was the problem inside the mountain. There was a dragon in
Oh, I was gonna pull out one of the scales.
there. I believe Karos mentioned their name, Aristratar. That's what my buddy Rock here was,
Rock was
beseeching
shouting.
the cloud. Yeah, exactly. We welcome you back because we thought maybe it was somebody trying to bring them back. But we did dispatch the Aristratar.
Pretty easy to memorize her name because she wouldn't stop saying it. She talked a lot.
Yeah, and all their stupid names like, oh, I'm the Avatar of Avarice, the Despoiler of Virtue, blah 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 blah. So,
When you say Abbott, Mole just goes quiet.
these guys, and then so I'll be like, so the thing that had that blade was serving Aristratar, it seemed. Like that's where they were doing all the like transformation stuff. And yeah. But that was, a couple days ago. She's been gone
You,
and she's gone.
did you say Avatar of Avarice?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I didn't. I thought that was a title or this is not good. That's
She said she was. Oh yeah, and then we talked to her after she was dead. Um, but surely none of this surprises you now that I've seen what you can do.
mm, the speaking with the deceased is not.
No, yeah, we have this cool mask. It does it.
Look at this thing. Isn't it
And
neat? Kind of creepy. Anyway, go on.
and she said she was Elohi, I think. I've never heard of. She said she was an Elohi. I don't know if that means anything to you.
You just see Bull just turn his head and look at Eno. Yeah, Alohi. Mo, I want to ask you about that avarice thing when I'm done. Alohi, um, entities that have been on Materia since before civilization. I think
My
if
ears
I
perk up.
know, I think I know that there's about 4 casts of them, or something along those lines. Thought it was more fairy tale than anything, but if I don't know, what makes up an Elohi, I'm not certain. Powerful entities that existed on the world before civilization. If she claims to be one or have been one,
Right.
I don't know
Was
enough
one.
about it.
Do you know of anything else that was or is an Elohi? Like, so. Go ahead.
So the cons the consensus that seems to be agreed upon by scholars within the Candlelighters that also have affiliations with the Omniscience and other colleges, um, as well as the Heralds of Exploration, based on certain studies, suggests that uh, the progenitors to the gnomes and the Goliath kin, so giants, perhaps may have been cast as an Elohi. Um, dragons, potentially, if this dragon states to have been one, which might clear up some of the elemental aspects of it. And I believe there may have been one or two other cast members. Sphinx, perhaps, because they the bearers of knowledge and the custodians of mentorship. So Sphinx, I believe. And then I
They're
am not
Elohi
certain
as well.
whatever an Elohi is.
Yeah, that's all I knew was the word. So.
Like I said, I am. Unfortunately, I'm not one to know much. I mean, I've heard of and I've inquired about, and but not with great intent and emphasis on understanding. Uh, trying to pull it up in my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything crucial that isn't super secretive about them. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing. Uh, why can I not find them? Dear notes. All right.
I was saying, but the
They
funny thing, like as he was saying most of that, Davis's eyes were just glazed over.
yeah,
The progenitors are the such and such. This is like what?
yeah, right. Uh, that that. Oh, right. And I would say, but frickin' Dragnar's not here. The other thing would say the noble beasts that make up the stewards and the wardens of the various portions of our lands and waters and skies. I knew I was forgetting one. I was like, there's another one. So it's dragons, giant, noble beasts, and sphinx.
Okay. Um. So we think we got. I mean, we've, as far as we could tell, there were no remnants of the dragon kin people left. But again, Big Mountain, haven't seen it all. But yeah, I am concerned that they had a blade that's tied to this family on the shelf.
Well, so here's the thing. So I believe a group amongst as yourself is able to ascertain the basic natures of magical items. The more than just being what Mole refers to as an Laron blade because of the family. It is essentially a scale sworn blade, so it does have magical properties that come from apparently affiliation with an actual dragon. So it's whether your story is not so unbelievable. The portion that has now my concern is what are they trying to do? Like you said,
I mean, that
if
dragon
you
that we killed, that's dead, right? Like dead is dead. Like I know there's like gods and things that don't die, but once things are dead, they're dead, unless they're revived, obviously. But
Almost always, yes.
right.
I believe
But like we sat
you had
there and watched the body like turn into mist, and yeah,
it what?
yeah, she could do that too. Like she turned into, I mean, not entirely. I think she was still in there, but like there was this big cloud around her. But yeah, no,
We
when she
also
died, it was just like very fizzy. Kind of.
she also had weird things in her, and I'll show the bag of.
Alien bits?
Yep.
Actually,
Um, Fascinating. Forgive both of us. We've never seen the anatomy of a dragon, but you're saying that this was, well, different than what you saw. Interesting.
These bits definitely don't belong. I don't know what they belong to. They didn't belong to a dragon.
Yeah,
I'll
do
also
you?
point out the stuff when I investigated it with Rock that night or last night, I guess that was then. Just like you see how it's grafted, it's tightly combined, but it's not natural. It's not just a growth. This is, seems to be done with some kind of purpose. I have no idea what, but
Okay, that might make something that I thought was just nonsense actually okay. Um, I don't know a lot about the Elohi. I didn't even expect a dragon to be part of this cast, but that does kind of explain the whole bearers of elements. I thought this was more along my. Anyways, so I, this is not my field of expertise. Forgive me, but a, a scholar told me that if dragons were real, that the winged serpents had a feud that sparked amongst them. Uh, you, if you've dealt with one, you know that they have personalities, from what I understand. Um,
yeah, this one just
most
wouldn't shut up about a lot of stuff. Mostly her
very
titles.
well. Uh, this feud supposedly escalated to a degree that perhaps wiped out the dragons, though how they were able to combat one another was always to question because they should have been relatively on equal terms. If this dragon has some sort of meaningful alteration to it, perhaps there was something else manipulating or causing this strife, or they figured out simply a way to enhance their abilities. Because what you are saying about a dragon turning to mist is, well, that sounds fairy tale. I believe you, but that does not sound like something that would be innate on such a creature, as I don't recall many stories of anything like this happening. Uh, but anyways, to go back to what you're saying, and it is clear that these are changes to the structure of this tissue that I do not even think comes from materia. It seems alien. It seems
Throughout this whole thing, Davis is like rocking back and forth and looks very nervous and is like looking at each individual member of the menagerie like intently, kind of like.
insight check. Is Davis an alien? I didn't know it.
yeah, go for it.
Roll it. Yeah, maybe.
mean, he's got yellow jaundice
I'll
eyes.
say
He's not
even with
sick.
that, the whole point is like he clearly wants to just tell him everything at this point,
Yeah.
just to like about the tree, about the fruit, about all the other shit. Like it seems to me like that they know so much shit that it's like giving them more information would just help figure this shit out faster. But
At
he's like
least Eno
he's waiting for
so much
approval.
shit. Yeah. Eno is the source of knowledge here. Um, so to go, if I may, backtrack and try to summarize. If dragons were one of the castes of the Elohi, then they are real because you have scales and bones and whatever else this collection is. Then it makes some semblance of under sense that if there is a cult here, that somehow they became affiliated with it. Mole is silent and is quite convinced that the Laurent have some direct ties with this then, though he knows he can't act without further proof. A blade isn't enough. His memories of the past are not enough.
I mean,
But
so what does it entail to be exiled from the shelf? You just can't go there anymore, or do you like get other punishments like throughout town? Like, do people throughout town just look down upon you, or I mean, is it literally just physical exile, or what constitutes exile?
well, someone like Scoot, he still operates here,
Yeah, he seems
and
okay. I mean, except for I guess his memory thing. I kind of guess I pick up on that now that you mention it, but it seems to be otherwise okay.
the thing is, Scoot has enough of a pull and is loved by enough people here that if he were to go missing, questions would be asked. And I would guess that the shelf members, the trustees, and their lackeys understand that they cannot do much about it. Now,
I
go ahead.
was gonna say, at least I guess it's good to know that he isn't like secretly working for somebody up on the shelf, at least in the capacity of the greedy ones. Now that we
Yeah,
know this, because the question in Carlos's head, he doesn't say this, but he's like, the question in his head up to this point was like, especially with the arrow being fired, like, is he trying to get the book because secret greed and like, yes, this is what we've been looking for, or like, oh shit, somebody's gonna figure out about all the shit that's in there and potentially stir up the dragon, try to keep it under wraps. Like, was it protective paranoia that he wanted the book, or was it covetous paranoia?
see, I played it well. Okay, cool. Yes, got it. That's kind of what I was hoping someone would pick up on. So yes, going on the conversation, as far as we know, being exiled for anyone is and to be stripped of home, to be stripped of anything. You are kicked out and sent out beyond the walls. Uh, in times past, this was more of a harsh sentence, right? As Carver was to use this again, a gem amongst cities. But now that it was squalor for me, it just meant being kicked out from home and have my family turn its back on me for me to be young without anything and very little knowledge on how to survive. If I approach the shelf, I would likely be apprehended, and if not, locked up in a dungeon to rot, perhaps gored by some of my family that still are loyal to the trustees. And the current head of my family, some, what is his name? I have his name.
Taiga? Or that was.
No, Taiga was long ago.
Ah,
That's the thing. That's why I was trying to see if you guys got picked that up. Regan Solomon. As spineless of a minotaur as there ever has been. Very soft of hoof and fat due to the life of luxury amongst those walls. You were asking like what a plan could be. Take our time and investigate and watch. Look at the sign that the storm is settled during the day as a bit of a reprieve and a chance to do some investigation. Or if we feel that we are on a clock and we are concerned that perhaps they have completed what they were aiming to do or are near completion, infiltration of some sort, but that could be risky. Again, we were not here to deal with a cult. We were here to deal with a tyrant.
looks like that tyrant may have deeper ties to things you may not have understood. But I'm glad we were able to maybe bring some of those to light and bring some of the other scary forces that have been present here to light. Hey, is that why you're called the Candlelighters? You like bring stuff to light?
Oh,
One of many reasons.
Huh. Okay.
A
What an apt name.
simple saying is a candle still provides light in the dark. A candle can still keep you warm in the cold. There are many reasons.
We're just a weird bunch of assholes. That's why we're the Crass Menagerie.
You are assholes.
Uh-huh. But we're fun.
Eh. I truthfully, I do not know what you wish to do. If you are to aid us in this, we will also, well, let's put it this way. We will do a joint effort in trying to expose Maxim, because perhaps the reason that the Laron are able to manipulate everything is due to their ties with a cult of a dragon. That sounds so weird to say out loud.
Try fighting one.
I mean, you may be the first dragon slayers in a century. Who knows? Perhaps longer.
That's pretty cool.
I'd rather not be so proud about that. Maybe you're proud about that, but
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
not sure
smart
we
guy.
can just.
We're keeping this under wraps, right?
I'm not sure it's good to just be like, "Hey, everybody, we killed dragon." I mean, it's like that's a force of nature that's primal to the world that we live in. I don't know if all of what we did was right, anyways, but it's over. Either way,
Well, if it
I'm just
puts you at
rambling.
some ease, said, we'll continue. I mean, if the dragons did really fall to some sort of infighting and some sort of manipulation, what Rock has presented us is proof of some sort of alterations or pact. There might be much more to the histories than any of us may have ever fathomed. So if this was a force of nature, it still may have been a tainted force of nature, and perhaps it was for the best. But I leave it to you, honestly. We cannot force you to do anything. We can ask for assistance. I believe if what you did in Green Hill is true, and that you are that menagerie, then naturally you will want to follow through with what is happening here.
Well, how about we strike a deal?
They just
How
look at you.
about we help you with this situation here, and you help us in Whitlaw?
I don't know how we can be of help, but if it's within a means that's reasonable, absolutely.
That's a need-to-know basis. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what.
Persuasion check.
Okay. Fuck. Uh. Uh-oh.
Oops.
Technically, you can guidance yourself. Don't forget.
Yeah, I'm pompous. Fuck that.
Okay.
9 total.
All right.
Hell yeah, got him.
We'll need a little bit more than on a need to know.
I mean,
Oh, there's some
it's
asshole.
a need to know basis because we don't really have a plan yet. Obviously.
True.
You're partial to political intrigue,
Yes.
and it's not secret information that something is very wrong from the top at Whitlaw.
Yeah, the sovereign sucks.
He is definitely one of the individuals that him and his council.
I say, you guys had your eye on Carver for a while. I hope you've had your eye on him for even longer.
Actually, other way around.
What was that, TJ?
Last time said I. Didn't he steal an eye?
He did. We haven't told him
So
that
an
yet, but
eye.
if you want to, you can.
No. I just everyone kept saying I, and then I just thought, hey, it's not.
Okay.
All right. So, I
Such, yeah, no, I'm sure once they've heard our case, they'll help us, but we're here. We should help. We may have hastened some of this with what we've done, although I still say we did the right thing. So we should help see this through as well. And it's the best breakfast and the best sleep I've had in a long time, and for that alone, I would do a lot for these guys, because that was, woof.
I intend on seeing through everything here in Carver, so I don't want to leave something half finished. If this is something, I mean, I want to leave Carver way better than when we got here.
Man, it's just like we fix every city we go to. It's kind of crazy. First we fix Volpine, then we fix Green Hill, and then we fix...
I mean, it's pretty good for a bunch of assholes, I'm not gonna lie.
It's true.
We're assholes that care, kind of, sometimes. Conditionally.
We're assholes with benefits.
New tagline.
Jesus Christ.
um,
That one's gonna get around.
you
Or
know,
that
it's gonna
might
get
be the episode title. Fuck.
around. Bull will say sometimes it just takes a little bit of caring to do some good. You said I have to backtrack. They
Please do,
referred
yes.
to themselves as the Avatar of Avarice.
Yeah. And
One of her titles.
the spoiler of virtue, something else.
Something about mist.
Something of greed, I think. I don't remember.
Yes. No, it's fine. It's I recall my family and others in the shelf giving some sort of tithing to an avatar of avarice
Alright,
from time to time.
yeah, it's for the 900 millionth time. Where'd it go? Just had it. Why did it change? Sorry, guys. I literally just had it up and now it's gone.
No,
Do the titles feel?
I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh, not there. Aristratar, the lingering miasma, the spoiler of virtue, the avatar of avarice, nimbus of ice, suffocating gale that takes all it wishes. Also contaminated with aliens.
While I do not know all those titles, the Avatar of Avarice is definitely a name amongst the trustees.
What,
So
like, they used that?
it seemed to be some sort of calling that would get them to provide a tithing is something I I do not understand it. In fact, I thought Maxim was the Avatar of Avarice, but perhaps that was just an alias that he used in lieu of this dragon. It was how he kept the other families in his graces. He was the most powerful. The Lorana are the most powerful of the trustees. They are the most manipulative, the most corrupt. There was always a tithing to the Avatar of Avarice yearly to stay within Maxine's good graces. Because he is half of the shelf, if not more. I heard tale that Ultra Blue opposed him and his influence, and that was the last time that there was an actual physical confrontation, and Ultra Blue barely survived.
Well, that makes things pretty freaking clear. There's definitely a connection. But, I mean, could we. Is he. He seems like the kind of guy that would be super proud and super boastful and super kind of easy to maybe even bait out if you just sort of threaten his ego. Like,
Perhaps.
if we intimate or hint that we know the thing that he was kind of serving and that was maybe even helping him is now dead. Do you think that might make him slip up or do something stupid or foolish?
Depends on his true affiliation. Dragging. What was it? Was it just a source of power? Was it a lackey? Was it? Did the connection run further?
Yeah, I mean, worse. Or we tried and then he does nothing. But, you know, maybe it's worth a shot. I don't exactly know how we're even going to do that. But just thought, you know. That's kind of how we do stuff a lot of times. We just sort of like poke at things till they do something weird or get set on fire.
Kind of this far.
Yeah, it pisses a lot of people off, but usually it's the wrong people. Or, sorry, it's the right people to piss off, but it's the bad people.
Yeah.
Very well. Um, well, I understand you probably do not want to be cooped up in here all day. Where are you going now? What are you guys going to be doing?
Our best course of action. Do we storm the gates? Make a big scene?
I mean, we kind of just tried that.
Yeah, my thoughts
But
exactly.
it's daytime and supposedly that thing's less threatening. And I'll kind of, well,
And it's
there's.
not raining.
It's the extremely light drizzle from what you've been told. You haven't been outside yet.
I'm gonna start packing my stuff up and throwing it across my back, and then I'm gonna walk outside if there's a door to
Yep,
his like
there's
little thing.
on this side there's a very obvious door. So, and the door on this side is the four elements that make it up, taking like, kind of from each bottom corner kind of merging and slamming into each other, and the center is where the doorknob would be. So you can open it, and as you're there, it's the dark under workings of the cellar where you guys were previously.
Sej, are you going to check out the storm?
I'm gonna go see what it looks like. Yeah, we've been sleeping for quite some time, so I'm assuming that it's once I get out of here, I'll know exactly what time of day it is. But probably around
Do
midday about now. I don't know. We slept a long time.
do me a favor. You've got the real good memory. Can you try and compare it to same time yesterday? Curious about that.
Sure.
I'll whisper to Al. I think he misses his god. He's probably
We
gonna go
haven't
see
seen
her. I
we
mean,
haven't seen the sun directly in a while.
yeah, she's behind all that cloudiness.
The clouds must be dealt with. We must purify the skies.
When we back, I'm gonna throw a fireball at the clouds.
Fuck you, clouds!
Very well. Your fireball falls very short, as it is only 125 so Rock, not Rock, Saj, as you step out from the cellar, illuminating your way with whatever means you deem fit, uh, kind of you poke your head out, and the burnt water establishment as a whole is seemingly not operational today. So you're able to easily step out and look, and it is raining. It is drizzling, not intensely. The sky is overcast very heavily. Um, oh my god, sorry. Danny just posted a GIF that just totally killed me.
Powerful.
You need to show that GIF on stream, damn. That's
Sure,
pretty good.
fine. Oh, I opened in the wrong window. Fuck.
So the clouds are above, but they are that overcast gray. There is no green. The lightning is far and high. The rumbling is distant. It is drizzling. Pretty much the same as it was yesterday at this time. People are amongst the soot flats doing soot flat things, living in poverty and being miserable and squalor.
No, it's about the same as yesterday.
However, said, with your passive perception, you will hear there is some sort of caller off somewhere in the distance. You don't see them, but you hear them. That to use that hear ye hear bullshit, they'll be saying, "Listen all, listen all! The shelf has put out a bounty for anyone that can find evidence and proof to the demise and downfall or missing of Maxim's son, Bragan Laron." Just continuing, like you'll hear it as he's like walking through. Hear ye, hear ye.
Hey guys, you want to hear this?
Did we ever get the bond?
Nope, it was not declared at least.
Rock.
Oh, not Bragan. Sorry, I just gave you the.
That's Solomon, right?
So that's Solomon. Yeah, it's Bragan Solomon. Sorry, I actually legitimately put the wrong name in my notes here.
How dare you?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Stay
Rock.
back.
Hey, Rock. Did we get the telepathic bond or no?
Nope, at that moment in time, Rock was having.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He ignored the request.
I'm
Mostly
pouty.
mimicking.
I'm pouty Rock
Yeah.
today.
Pouty Rock. I don't like any of you.
I mean, they just beat the crap out of me, and then everyone.
And then like these guys are awesome.
Halifax. That's what it is. Halifax.
Like the Canadian province.
Maybe, but That's what his name is. I'll spell it out in a second. Let me just put the son's name actually where it belongs.
Or not province, city. What am I saying? It's in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Califax.
Oh, Halifax. Gotcha.
Like if Calisaur went to Halifax?
Yep, exactly.
See, if Halifax was in California.
Mm-hmm. His name is Califax the Rum. Find proof of and evidence of his missing, his capture, or his demise. Hear ye, hear ye. The shelf's trustees are calling for a bounty for anyone that can find proof of Califax's abduction, missing. They just however you want to say it. They don't know what happened. They just want to know what happened to Maxim's son.
So, yeah, after Sedge is like, you guys want to hear this? I'll have come outside and be like, what? What do you know? What happened? I mean, or what's the rumors? Like, why do they think he's dead? To whoever, the crier or whatever it is.
Mm. The crier ain't anywhere close.
Oh, it's that far
Ash
off.
picked it up
Okay.
as it's like yelling.
Never mind then.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I was giving him his good, passive perception.
True.
The ears, the big Dumbo ears.
Freaking
So
joke.
there's a town crier out there. I'll tell him the name. There's a bounty for just information about them.
I mean, that could be one way
Or
to draw
murdering
him
them.
out. Wait a minute. I wonder. I mean, the timing seems a
Have
bit.
you heard?
The timing seems a bit weird, right? Like we took care of the dragon, and now the son dies. Like,
Well, and the a bunch of the caster lizard men that were transforming folk into brutes. I mean, people's
oh, he could have been
families,
one of them.
right? You said that these were family blades.
Shit.
So if they're able to either transform or magically disguise themselves,
Man, so I really want to just take this blade up to the fucking gate and be like, "Yeah, I did it.
We do have the
Found his
blade.
blade."
That is one way of getting a way in. However, we'll have to figure out everything else out when we get there, though.
But let me put it this way: if that guy in there, the tiefling, is that scared of Maxim, maybe we don't do what we kind of tend to do, which is just like run headfirst at shit. I know I'm the one who do it. I do it maybe more than anybody, but I don't know. It gives me a little bit like it's weird. If like I actually kind of thinking about it now, it's like whoa, that's kind of scary.
And yeah, as tempting as it is having that one free ticket in for one of us, it's
Like a one-way
yeah,
ticket.
yeah. But being scared of it and our poorly planned raid yesterday, finding out there's so many more people there than we initially anticipated. There's I don't know, that one-way ticket's the ugh, I guess a backup plan if nothing else comes up, but it's all dangerous. There's no good way in, so we're gonna have to find a bad way in.
Well, here we should at least tell these guys what they're looking for now. They'll actually just not run back in, but like stride back inside and
Mm-hmm.
tell them like, hey,
Certainly get their counsel, yeah.
they're someone's out there is asking about Maxim's son's death, Califax, and there's a bounty for proof of it or information, I think. Which, and then, oh no, I don't have the blade. I was gonna say, but which, maybe that was his dagger, blade. Maybe that was him.
Mole will speak up and, well,
Are
this
Maxim's
is.
kids little dragon guys?
I never thought so. They're shithead elves.
Have you heard of this Califax guy? Did you know him? Or her? Or whatever? Oh, sorry. Him.
Califax. Yes. He was already. Believe he was the eldest.
Did he look like that
He
thing
was
that Al showed you earlier? The scaly guy?
not at all. He looked like a
Just
pointy-eared,
stupid elf?
prissy, pompous.
Yeah.
Yes. So perhaps there is much more to their connection with this dragon than and the meaning behind these blades than I would have ever imagined. I I only recall the blade because it was, well, something ornate and something fancy. And but this that would most certainly be proof that something happened if they can confirm that that is indeed Califax's.
I mean, do you think we should provide it to them?
I
I mean,
don't
it probably
know.
raises a
What's the
little bit of
story?
right. Yeah, it raises a lot of questions.
Where is he? How did you come across it?
Yeah,
Etc.
I just found it on the street. Probably not gonna satisfy their
No, because anyone that's
Well,
worth anyone that has any matter between their ears would recognize the value in just the sellability of something like this, even if they did not realize it had magical properties.
right.
It is a proverbial treasure.
not to mention we're all pretty memorable, so this isn't like something we can try and then scrap and figure out
True.
another plan. Like, put ourselves out there. There's not a lot of people that fit our description just hanging around town.
I mean, some of us can
No.
disguise ourselves better than others, but yeah.
Is there a way to the shelf that's preferred for sneaking?
It's difficult to say. While I'm from here, I don't necessarily know. I haven't been anywhere near the shelf in ages. Uh, you saw last night they have a security detail that lives on premise and enjoys some form of luxuries and that is what keeps them loyal. It is, in a sense, a small fortress. But I mean, just from observations, what Rock had done last night shows that they are not necessarily completely warded from magic.
Yeah,
So
I
of
was gonna
course there
ask
must be
that.
means to get in.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Good to know.
I mean, there are means to make individuals invisible for a time.
Does Laurent ever leave the shelf, really?
Since we've been camping out in the soot flats and observing, no.
Do any of the like leaders of the families do, like including even yours? Or they just
They
pretty
have
much
no
hole up in
reason
there.
to.
Yeah, okay.
They have everything they need. They have servants that if they need to travel to other towns to collect, they go.
Are any of them powerful magic guys?
I do not know. I,
But even
I
if they're
was
not, there's certainly some in there that are working for him. Is my guess.
certainly they have those that protect, that have arcane capabilities, if not other magics. We are not living some, 200 years ago where magic users were shunned and they hid their abilities.
Yeah.
They are out for hire once again. As I look at all of you, you all have some capabilities. So, so what are we to do? Are we to? I believe getting an audience may not be the wisest thing, but
Ugh.
gauging their reaction and maybe coercing something to happen is a possible approach.
Causing something to happen? Hmm.
Getting a
What
read,
should...
getting a feel. I don't know. I know, and I know that if I have, sorry, switching voices. I know that if has some time, can figure out perhaps the significance of the clouds and the storm, the lightning strikes, and the timing. But you know, it, it takes time. And I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, going off of assumptions right now, I I I I don't think they're trying to bring this dragon back. But it is concerning when you said that it misted when it died, because maybe some of its essence is still lingering, and
Well,
maybe
his
that's what.
followers certainly seem to not be done yet.
Yes, and that's what I'm afraid that the cults might be. How do I say it? The cult might be channeling or using this essence to enact something, whether to come out of the darkness and finally take over Carver, whether it be to wreak a storm of vengeance. I do not know. I do not have time to study this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we might not have time. It's hard to call. Um, what was that automaton thing guy's name again?
Scoot.
Yes. Would he be able to get us an audience? I could have. I do know that you guys are very wary of him, but I could have a conversation with him.
I mean, I think he's exiled. I think that they would like to be rid of him, so I don't know that they would necessarily, the one that he would want to try to garner enough attention to get back in there.
Hmm. Yeah,
Or
that
or
threat
even
would
if he
work then.
could, they would, I mean, they might invite him in just to get rid of him, but I don't know.
So Dregnar will pipe up from his merchant background and say, well, exiled or not, he managed to get his company passive through
Oh yeah. They had like
the
a free.
shelf.
Yeah.
So they must, from what the candlelighters here say, and from what we've kind of picked up, people love Scoot. I don't. I'm concerned about, as you said, Paras, what they would do if they were able to get Scoot by themselves. But at the same time, if Scoot approached them and then all of a sudden went missing, there might be enough of a uproar where the populace that are benefiting from his work would do something.
Sounds to me like you're trying to offer him up as a sacrifice.
No, I'm just
He's saying
saying
that he doesn't think that they do anything
exactly.
I got it.
permanent, but they messed him up once and he lost memory. I don't know anything about his people, his things. I don't know if they can mess with them permanently with magic or something. Who knows?
Memory is hard when you consider that his memory is stored unlike ours. Maybe.
It's an intangible thing, right? That's what makes it hard
Hmm.
or difficult to
We could
understand.
we could follow that line, but it does sound also dangerous. Hmm. That is an option though.
Mole will kind of get up, hit his hands on his legs. I mean, we could just try to go catch ourselves a cultist.
Go catch a cultist.
Maybe.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Stake out the place.
I mean, it worked for them last time. They caught Rock.
Wrong type of cultist. But yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't plan. I just charge.
Yeah.
My job is to keep NO alive here.
Yep. I feel that.
So I just happen to have some personal beef with the shelf.
Wait, is that a joke?
I didn't even mean to do that. That's why I rolled my eyes. When I said it, I was like, God damn it.
Oh, Molly, you cad. I really ox to do this.
Yes. Haha. So I have the sense that this is DM talking, that this might be a natural segue to a break so you guys can kind of figure out what you want to do next session. Discuss among yourselves. Figure out where we're starting.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Does that sound good to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea. There's quite a few
Okay.
options away.
Yeah.
Yeah, please actually discuss so I can kind of have some sort of idea what's happening.
Hey, you're not supposed to read our discussions.
I don't read your discussions. I honor the Menagerie channel. The only times I go in there is I jump in there just to clear the, like, I don't read it. I just jump in,
Red
jump out, just to
notification.
clear. Yeah,
I know.
the red notifications part.
I'm on to you. No.
I'm very, very tired, though. I work in the morning.
Got you. So real quick, this is the one thing that I want to say, and it can be on the recording. So session's done, but recording. So with the bottle sessions, I spoke with Al. Al is up to DMing. I know Danny said that he's up to DMing as well.
Oh yeah.
So, but here's the thing. This is what we as a group we really need this type of information. Um, what level ranges you are comfortable with playing in, that you want to play in, and that you want to DM in, and then we need to at least start having an idea. So this would give people a chance to make up characters for the different sessions. This would include, in this way we can kind of schedule it. We might not have we're going to do this on the 31st of the next month. That's not what I mean. It's just that we know that I'll use like some characters. I'll use my elf rogue cringe on this level 5 campaign, and then I'll use
Other elf rogue.
my other elf rogue dipped barbarian in this level 12 story, and then I'll use my other elf rogue. You know what I mean? It's level 13.
Yeah.
That's where we can at least, so we can kind of start assigning characters to.
Why are you listing all my characters?
Right.
Because
Me too.
I'm a
You're the
mind
Menagerie
reader.
channel.
Yeah, because I'm in the Menagerie channel and I just hear y'all saying elf, 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 elf all the time.
Fair cheats. DM's cheating.
Yep, DM is always cheating because DM has created the world.
I'm gonna report you to the DM. What are you gonna do
Oh
about
my
that?
I'll have to have a stern conversation with myself.
Good, good.
If you report me to me, actions will be taken against me by me.
Actions have consequences.
I gotta need a
Very
laugh.
confused now.
Yay. All right. So
He'll have
that's
to
it. Like,
fight it out with.
I would have to figure it out. So
Somebody's gonna
that
play
being said,
a sloth, a divine sloth.
well, I mean, dude, if we wanted to have like some paladin or some divine sloth, 100%, that'd be dope. But yeah, and then also, guys, with that, it'll also allow you guys to get some of the creative ideas going for characters, and not everything is supported and translated into materia. So the sooner you can kind of jump on an idea or two or three and just let me know, because there might be some things that you have an idea for, but there is nothing that supports it, or there might be an idea that you have and I haven't considered, and I can build something out. Not necessarily going to create like a whole new class or anything like that, but I can at least try to find an archetype combination that might help you do what you want to do.
There's many
Uh,
character ideas I want to play around with.
yes, and on top of that, like there's so many, like just simply said, there's so many races that I haven't even translated from the Monsters of the Multiverse changes to meet and update with uh, materia changes. Like there's so much out there that I haven't done, that there's so much lacking material, that the sooner you can kind of have an idea, I can know what I need to jump on and try to translate over into 5.m to make it even possibly playable for you guys. Because while I'm not necessarily going to be DMing these, I might. I honestly, I still might DM one or two of these, just if there's not enough, people that want to DM. But I just want to be that there's enough support, and I'm not like cutting you, yeah, like cutting you short on some ideas that you have. And the only other thing that I want to bring up is, because I want to let you guys go. I spoke with Corbin on this. I think the person that's DMing, let's say we're gonna, because I think Conspirator's Crest is definitely one of the items that y'all are gonna keep.
We
I don't necessarily want Al to DM that session. I want Al to be a player to be able to earn that item, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Except
Yeah.
I have it and it's mine, so fuck you.
That's fine, but like I want the.
I'm kidding.
But you get what I'm saying on that
Yeah,
aspect, right? So it would be like, like unless if like unless if you really want to DM something that is your item, like if Rock really wanted to do the Sentinel Shield, which he doesn't have to, but if he really wants to and he's got some goofy story for it because it's, and that's like his idea and he doesn't mind, that's fine. But I think it would be more impactful and more meaningful as Corbin earned the Conspirator's Crest, even though he didn't earn it as Al, he earned it as somebody. It's still the
Some
player
Elfro.
getting it. Yeah.
And I would
That's it.
say for anybody who is thinking of DMing, you should try it. And this is like one of the best times to do it because it's
the
a friendly
safest group
environment.
to do it.
Yes, exactly. Friendly environment. People who know like all the rules and shit anyway. So like if you have questions, you can defer. And
Yeah.
again, a secret of DMing is even if you don't know the rule, you can just kind of fucking wing it, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if you make a judgment call that doesn't line up to what I would make the judgment call, that's perfectly fine because
Right.
one, you're the DM, and two, you're the DM. And like we can discuss it if we need to. Like if you
Yeah.
make some sort of judgment call and you're like, wait, that's weird. We don't run with rule lawyers and we don't run with
Nah.
min-maxers. We run with people that just want to have a good time.
We can say that now that James
So
isn't here.
yes.
We don't run with min-maxers.
Yes. So please, like I know it's extra work, I know it, but I hope it's fun work. So like
I was gonna add one more thing if I could. So
Okay.
for if whoever's designing or building these things, like the only thing that's kind of dangerous at higher levels is like encounter balance, which you can sort of fudge, but that's a little bit harder to do at higher levels, to knowing like kind of how to fudge it and things like that.
But that's also why I'm here. Like if it's something that you want help with, like I can
Oh,
very
that's true,
easily
yeah.
separate myself from DM and player. Like if I'm gonna be a player in some of these, it's very easy for me to separate. I've done
Sure.
it enough times. So I'm here to help, and honestly, I will also tell you that in a bottle session, and this is beyond what I would expect to talk about, you do not have to assign hit points to things.
Right.
That is the number one rule. You literally just let the group beat on it until you think it is a cool story moment for it to fall.
Don't tell us this cheat codes. Fuck.
But no, I'm being serious.
You're
I
breaking
know.
my immersion. Everything's sus now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything.
Yes, he said in
I'm
the
gonna
bottle
kill and
sessions,
loot
not the long
everything
running
in
said-
campaign.
I
Skyrim.
said in the bottle, but it is something to do in one shots and stuff like that. When you don't know the balance and you don't know what you're going to run into,
Right.
you have a
Eject button.
framework of you have a framework, and you're just running off of that. And then if you need to, and you're rolling dice and you're realizing, oh, this +7 to hit them isn't enough. Okay, it just all of a sudden became a +9. You know, it's not going to ruin the thing. If you don't know how much health it needs to have and you want it to at least survive 4 rounds, you just tally the damage, and then once the 4th round goes, you start kind of playing, and you're like, okay, this sounds like, I think like in a turn or two, if someone does like some serious damage, that'll be a cool moment for it to die, or for it to concede, or whatever. And that's what you do. And that's one of the tricks of like 1-shot, 2-shot bottle sessions.
I want the dungeon to win.
You can.
Okay,
That's a
but
valid.
another
That's a
thing.
valid ending for those.
That is a valid ending. So for some of these, and that's also where the story goes. This is an opportunity if somebody, like, if there's a consensus that you guys want to do an evil group, and someone wants to DM an evil group, that's where you can start creating your characters and creating the group. And it might be with the understanding that you guys will die at the end, because somehow this fell to the hands of the good guys, right? The good guys. Like,
The
there's
good
a
guys
lot of
always win. I knew it.
there's a lot of room to play with it, and it allows you to be a little bit less conventional than a campaign that's running for 129 sessions next week.
And for those of
You know?
us from different parts of continents that we haven't been to, it's like if you wanted to like build some of those out or put your stamp on something in the world, this is kind of an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely, with working with me though,
Right.
to a degree. But yes,
It doesn't
And
have to be where
it's-
you're from. Like, it could just be a random
people.
spot.
yeah, and it's also a chance for you to just throw some random ass shit at people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's say you go to YouTube and look up random D&D monsters,
There's some
and
fun
you
ones.
see an Adobe, and you're like, "What's an Adobe?" Adobe is a mass of arms that has claws at the end of it and a pale yellow eye at the end of each arm. It's about 100 tons in weight. It's literally a rolling force of chaotic nature. Cool.
We're gonna
Yeah.
fight a hecaton Kyries.
Yeah. So, like, you could fight something extremely, tropey. If you're missing that, like you've never, you want to be like, whoa, how would it be to fight a rampant herd of owl wolves? Or you can find be like something like,
Or
shit,
from the
they
DM's
released.
perspective, what would it be like to throw X at a bunch of people?
Yeah. Or you're like, oh wow, I remember hearing some book came out and they like reprinted a bunch of X, and I want to try running with that. So that's all. I don't want to keep y'all because it's past 1. So,
Okay.
but yes, please, 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 please discuss amongst yourselves if you can, kind of the idea of what you guys want to do, or like what's at least a starting point for next session, so I can at least kind of plan that out. And then also please discuss and kind of come to a consensus of like what you want to DM and what you want to play and stuff like that. Please, please, please.